Hi, this is Gray, and I'm here with Claudia Black. You know her from Farscape as Officer Aeryn Soon, and Stargate as Vala, not to mention her role in Pitch Black, the woman who brought tough chicks into sci-fi and into our hearts. Claudia Black. How are you doing this morning, Claudia?
I'm well, how are you?
Wonderful. You have brought a wonderful image into homes worldwide, and you are a hero to women everywhere. How does that feel?
Oh gosh, no pressure. I've always tried, especially when I started playing Aeryn, I was aware of the fact that as a soldier that she had, there was a very serious element to her character, and I remember the first gallery shoot that we were asked to do in the first season. The photographer said, "Can you hold the gun like this?" And I said, and you never want to say the word no. They say it's a very powerful word in Hollywood, and I was really reluctant to say it, especially in Australia, but I just said, you know what, it's a weapon. I think we need to make that clear, that that's what I'm holding in my hand, no Charlie's Angels. And that was just, that sort of set the tone. It's hard to fight for your character at the beginning because it really belongs to everyone else before they cast you. The actors are sort of like the last things normally to be attached to a project like that. So gradually, as they relaxed more and the writers and the producers relaxed a little, they handed the characters over to us once they trusted what we were doing. And it was those decisions every day about being aware of the fact that I was representing women in general, soldiers, even though she was an alien, you know, whatever detail I could bring and whatever integrity I could bring. There was another instance where they wanted Aeryn just in the middle of a very dramatic storyline on Earth to get into a bikini and sunbathe. And I said, if you can explain to me why she would think this is a good idea to do in the middle of the Australian winter. No sunshine was going to be scheduled. No sunshine was predicted for all the days that we were shooting by the pool, and I just wondered what kind of message that was sending. And I said, you justify Aeryn in a bikini and I'll do it. And so in the next season, at the beginning, they put us on Bondi Beach. They had a fantasy sequence where Crichton was imagining living back on Earth in Australia. How convenient, because that's where we were shooting it. So that was handy that that's where his fantasy was set. And we did this whole sequence with the prosthetic. Aeryn was pregnant. He was imagining them being together and married and having a baby. And I said, all right, you've justified it. That's fine. So it was those sort of decisions that I made that hopefully make, you know, give the character some integrity and me as an actor integrity as well, so.
There it is. That's a cracking kick. Boy.
Yeah, girls do kick harder.
Maybe it's not mine at all.
You just won't let that rest, will you?
Maybe it's got a little ponytail and a teeny tiny goatee.
Maybe.
Maybe it has half a metal face on it.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a royal pain in the ass, eats all the time and farts a lot.
Then we'll know it's yours.
That's a cracking kick.
You made a lot of decisions on the show. Like one of my favorites is in The Choice, and like what you called the Ophelia scene. One of the best lines was, "If I shut my eyes tightly enough, you could be someone else."
Yeah.
You made a lot of improvisations. So how much of the character Aeryn Soon came from you and your improvisations?
It was a very collaborative effort on the set, and actors are generally not very keen to say, oh, you know, that's all my work, and I put a lot of. Everyone has to put their stamp as an actor onto the page and what they're doing, and you know, we serve the writing, we're there to serve it, but it's not theatre, and the piece doesn't stay intact, and we don't replay that same piece every night, you know, 6 times a week or 7 times a week. So everyone has to be prepared to go with the flow, and the improvisations never came from us saying necessarily, oh, I want to do something different. It's about, this puppet doesn't look the way it was described in the script, so what are we going to do? So it was born out of necessity a lot of the time. But if the writers invited us to make some contributions, just as Justin Monjo did, who wrote The Choice, I had a wonderful time collaborating with him. And he said to me, you know, this is our idea, this is the concept, what do you want to do, what are your thoughts? And we collaborated on it together.
Aeryn, Xelax is alive.
Come on. Come on. Come on, Chris. You can tell the truth.
You get up, get away from him.
No, that's all right, he wants
wants me. Isn't that right? You always wanted to take me from Crichton, and now here's your chance. And you know what, Viola? If I squeeze my eyes closed tightly enough, you could be someone else. No, come on, right here.
Besides just Amanjo, what other writers did you particularly enjoy working with? I
Well,
know you
was-
had so many.
Well, there was at the time a lesser-known writer named Ben Browder. Don't know if anyone's heard of him.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, a faint bell somewhere. Ben, I mean, I'd been playing this incredibly serious character whose first smile was actually scripted. And her first tear. She was this incredibly emotionally stoic person.
First joke, too, I believe.
Yes.
All the jokes somewhere in the second, maybe third season.
Exactly. Aaron understanding irony for the first time. And it was just really sweet because it makes her this sort of ill-formed person who's more sort of like a child, and I think dramatically that's really interesting to watch on a show. So I loved the fact that she had so much scope because she was really this very limited person. But Ben he was saying to the writers, Claudia's funny, you should give her more comedy to do, because I was always a straight man. And it took him writing an episode and putting in the princess sequence for them to really, to get the idea. And then finally coming onto Stargate, I was given basically carte blanche, which was fantastic.
How was that transition for you? Because you went from such a straight-laced character trying to portray a multifaceted, deep person who can't react, to Vala, who's a very colorful, vibrant personality.
I think if you come from a theatre background, as a lot of actors in science fiction do, you have that inherent range and scope, and you're dying for the opportunity, very hungry for it to just test your chops and stretch your acting muscles. So for me, it was just this wonderful opportunity transitioning from Aaron to Vala to embrace the light. I went to the light, Carol Ann.
Did you ever have trouble keeping the characters separate, working with Ben again with the same chemistry and being on another sci-fi set?
I never had trouble confusing the characters. My issues were more with confusing the process of the two shows, because they were vastly different beasts, different producers, different writing. We would get actual scripts delivered to us on Stargate, whereas on Farscape we would get something and then we'd have to sort of make that work some of the time. Sometimes they were just it's very hard to keep up with the schedule that Farscape was, because we weren't shooting timing-wise, we weren't shooting to the regular schedules of the networks, and yet they needed to have the material by certain deadlines.
Australians notorious for filming fast back in Farscape days, too.
Yes, indeed, very fast. That's how they sold the show, to get them to film in Australia.
So I'll close with, how was the experience for you having such a fan base that wouldn't let you go, that demanded you to come back?
Is that the case?
Oh,
They demanded that I come back?
Peacekeeper Wars was built upon cracker box tops we sent in. Sorry, I 180'd back on you.
Right. We all felt that the show deserved a chance and that the fans deserved a chance to have a proper ending. So I was had to delay my wedding plans, but it was worth it. It was good to tie that part of the story up, certainly.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning.
You.
I deeply enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Not coming here anymore.
Why not?
Doesn't change anything. It makes me sad.
So what's next?
What's left?
Wormholes?
I gotta recreate a ton of equations. New Girl smashed them up.
New? New is good.
Not always.
Hey, babe.
Thanks.
Who's this?
No one.